Hey, welcome back to Right on the Money, the go-to resource for your financial decisions. Now, our guest today, of course, is the Pat Ginefra, founder of MyLifeBroker.com. And Pat, I want to pick it up right where we left off. And that was the conversation around the problem that people are finding themselves in today, which is being in cookie-cutter portfolios. Now, are there strategies that you're implementing to deal with these economic events that we're right in the middle of?
You try to deal with these events, but I think, a lot of the experts have been unmasked, right? People that are out there, all the great gurus that are developing these portfolios and managing the money, they were taken by surprise just as much as everybody else. So there really is no strategy that's ironclad other than organizing that income bucket into some form of guarantee. And if you don't have a pension, you can certainly think about creating your own. Aside from that, you can dial up the risk, right? Because if I've got my basic needs covered, I can afford to take on a little bit more risk. But if I'm lumping all that money together again, and I don't have a real strong view of how much I can withdraw at a future date, then I'm going to run into a problem. And don't forget, in the world of income, $1 million only buys you $35,000 to $40,000 a year. So a lot of people are out there in their 401ks, et cetera, thinking they've got some wealth. But when they go to convert that to income and try to figure out, A, how much can I withdraw? B, how long will it last me? They might be in for some surprises.
So there's been, through the years, of course, and with your experience working with people and helping them with their money, there's been other market corrections, other major market events. If we go back to 2008, this one is a little, the one wrinkle that this one brings to the table is the fact that it's a lot harder to see clients. How are you getting in front of people? How are you handling that and getting advice out to help people through this situation?
Well, we're fortunate in that we were really set up for a kind of a virtual discussion with our clients. We do and have done already a lot via the internet. And we're nationwide, so it's not just local clients that we have. We serve clients in every state, and we're able to really have a good conversation no matter where people are. So we've been largely unaffected by that. We are open in the office if people need to come in, but we feel that 99% of what we do is perfectly suited for online.
So what do you think we'll be seeing here, not to put you on the spot and not to say that you're Punxsutawney Phil, but if you were to look forward, if you had a crystal ball, what do you think we're going to see in the next 6 months to a year?
Well, again, no one knows, but I think if you look at past history of the markets, there's always aftershocks. They tend to, after a crash, you're going to retest those lows. It's a matter of months. I think here what we're going to see is when second quarter data starts to hit, you're going to see an extremely weak data set coming out. And I think by July or August, we're going to definitely be revisiting some lows here. And I think we're in for a long haul. I think we're probably before things normalize. And again, it's going to be dependent on the spread of the virus and the containment, whether or not they come up with a vaccine. There's a lot of variables. But the big thing is, I feel, and a lot of folks feel, we were in a bubble before this even started. So it doesn't really matter in the sense that, the market was overbought. P's were 26 to 1. And we feel that, based on that, that is not boding well for the future. Because once the bubble pops, it doesn't really matter what popped it. The air is coming out. And it's going to take a long time to get that confidence back. And this is why people have to have a plan, particularly if you're retiring in the next 5 years. You absolutely need to sit down and go back to the basics and build that income, figure out the Social Security strategy, identify that gap. And that's really where we can help you. The idea is not to put all your money into an annuity or not to put all your money into the stock market. It's to find out what you need to do to cover the income gap and then to use the tools, the right tools that are going to fit that job. And that's really what it comes down to. So really, to summarize, I would say what I see in the future may be very volatile. It could be turbulent, but I would say the best time now is to plan. You won't be feeling the pain as much once you carve out a definite income plan going forward.
Would that be the advice that you would give to a retiree of what, if you were speaking to the American retiree and you've got the platform right now to speak to all of them, what should they be doing? The retiree out there, what steps should they be taking?
They have to absolutely, positively figure out how much of that nest egg that they still hold that they're going to need to service the rest of their income for the remainder of their life. Now, obviously, there's a lot of questions there. Namely, you don't know how long you're going to live, right? But that Social Security strategy is going to be key, because for a lot of people, that's going to be almost a third or up to 2/3 or more of the income. And it's not going to be enough. A lot of folks don't have that pension. So it's time to sit down. It's time to capture the expenses, figure out what the income gap is that's required. And then you want to take the least amount of the money that you have and move it over into that strategy that's going to be guaranteed, so you can sleep at night and you don't have the worries that you have today about when can I retire? Because a lot of people are telling me, you know what, I don't think I can retire now. And maybe if they had used a different approach 4 or 5 years ago, they would be prepared. And I think that's what we're looking at. This is a lack of preparation. You could look at it from the standpoint of our country being unprepared. But if you look at people, not just retirees now, the average family doesn't have more than a few weeks worth of savings to get through this. If you look at retirees, it's the same thing. They're not prepared for the crash, and that's the problem. You always have to be prepared for the crash, and that's what we do with our clients.
All right, well, Pat, we're coming towards the end of the episode here, so I've got to ask you one really important question, and that is, how do people get a hold of you to talk to you about their finances?
Well, sure, that's easy, Dennis. Just visit our website at mylifebroker.com, hit the contact tab, and in fact, while you're there, you can request a free consultation. We do a 15-minute online kind of an overview with prospective retirees to assist them during this critical time. And we're passionate about that. So we're here to help. If you have any questions or if you'd like to start the planning process, I would encourage anyone to do that.
That takes us to the end of today's episode. That's all the time that we have. So Pat, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day, and thank you for visiting from your beautiful studio. I am always jealous of that.
Well, thanks, Dennis.
Yeah, anytime. So stay healthy, stay happy. And for everybody else, you can always watch additional episodes of Right on the Money Show at rightonthemoneyshow.com. You can visit our YouTube page. You can also find us on LinkedIn. And we thank you for your time, and have a great day.